name is Sheryl. I'm from South Africa. I was born in Cape Town, in a small place called Matroosfontein. I think my family and friends in Matroosfontein will be very proud of me. I never thought ever that I'll end up in Uganda. I played for the national team before for Banyana Banyana, and I think the fact that I was a player, it really helped me to be able to teach the players, the girls, the technical and the tactical aspect of the game. I then moved from Cape Town. I qualified as the Chief Health Inspector. I then moved into Johannesburg, where I joined a club called Leeds United. And when I was in Cape Town, I played for a club called Kenwan United. And then I moved to Johannesburg. And then somehow I injured my groin, and it's taken a long to recover. And that's why I decided that I will start doing my coaching licenses. And I thought I was in love with the game when I was playing, but when I started studying the theory of the game, I fell even more in love with this game. And I managed to get myself a SAFA Pro license. It's the highest license in our country. And I also have a CAF A license. I'm a part of the technical study group for CAF. I'm part of the technical study group for COSAFA. I'm an elite instructor for CAF. I love the coach education part of the game. I've also been the head coach of the under-17s, women's national team, the under-20 national team, also Banyana Banyana, which is our senior women's national team. I've also been the technical advisor to our women's national team when we went to really played against Egypt, and I was also the video analyst for our Banyana Banyana when we went to the Rio Olympics in 2020 and 2016. I've never imagined that I will ever end up in Uganda, but I've had quite a few countries this year, last year, that was trying to secure my services, and somehow I had some disappointments along the way, and I think Uganda just came the right time. I did apply for the position, and then I think Mr. Watson, the CEO, he managed to convince me to come to Uganda. I was worried about the safety and security in Uganda. Then he says to me, Sheryl, Uganda is safer than South Africa. So, and ever since I've arrived, I must say that the FUFA administration, Mr. Watson, the staff, they've been looking after me, and I'm already feeling at home. There's really not a lot to find, but I found that they've got two leagues, the Women's Super League. We've got Kawempe Muslims as the second position. We've got, I think, Shakira. She plays for Kawempe, the highest goal scorer. We've got Resti, I can't pronounce her surname, but she's the second highest goal scorer. And there's other clubs like UCU, Asubo. I think in the lower leagues, there's also a league called the Women's Elite League, where I found that a lot of the under-20s national team consists of, there's a Uganda Motiers club, Uganda Motiers. There's Wakiso Hill. There's quite a few under-20 players coming from Kawempe. That's currently the national team. And in the senior national team with Crested Cranes, we've got, there was 8 international players, Vanessa Kurinji, there was Fiona, there's Joan, 2 players from Denmark, a player that's playing in Belarus, in Italy, Tanzania, Kenya, Russia and Sweden. And there were 24 local players in the national team. So I think going forward, we would like to see more players, local players, really going abroad, so we can really strengthen the senior national team. A very good question. I believe in development. The younger they can start and be exposed to pressure, they will be able to learn more. But I think if you're a woman, you would understand. Unfortunately, I'm going to tell you anyway that the older the women become, the more they matured and the better they become. I feel even for myself that when you play, when you're 28, 29 years old, you're almost at the peak of your game. So the girls tend to mature a bit later, and with that comes a lot of knowledge of the game, a lot of insight into the game, a lot of experience. Whereas with the 22 years old, for example, they're still very young and they're still learning. So the only suggestion I'm going to make is that keep the youngsters, but you've got to try and find a balance. You've got to have the experienced players in there to really to stabilize the team, and maybe have them as the core of the team and start bringing the younger ones in so that you can solidify, have a strong team. So if they're on their own and they're going to play against players that's 28, 30, 34, they might not be able to make it, because girls play much better when they're older and more mature. The President, Magogo, has mentioned earlier in the interview that he is aware that there's not enough competition for women, for the national teams in Africa per se. It's something that he will discuss with CAF. We need more competition. We need, I think the more the girls play competitions, the better they will become. So if you play 5-6 times a year, it's not enough. We have the Kosafa Cup, we've got the Sikafa Cup, there's Wafu. It's seriously not enough. So if you think where we are now, you'll be waiting to play next year only, isn't it? If there's no World Cup qualifiers. So we really need to have more tournaments, even if it's a 4 nations tournament, even if it's an 8 nations tournament, that we can rotate every year and give each country a chance. I believe there must be something done so that the girls can really get more competition. I love possession football. South Africans, we love possession football. I watched a few highlights. It's obviously not enough, but I find it's not a key factor in our game in Uganda. So I'm coming to bring possession football to Uganda, and I know it might be difficult, but I can assure you, I've seen some under-20 players. I think it was Catherine. There was another. They have the ability to keep the ball. So there will be a lot of youngsters that I'll be including in the national team, because we're going to have to find a balance. I'm not against the long ball, but I'm not a fan of every ball must be kicked long, you know, because this is such a beautiful game. So I would like us to play it a little bit differently, bring in players in that can keep the possession more. So I'll be bringing possession football to the country. I'll be bringing sports science and technology to the country. Our girls, statistical data on the players, speaking to the positions that they play within their formations. We will be monitoring that. We will be training that. And I'll also bring in coach education to the players. I feel that's one aspect that we don't generally share, coaches, is the understanding and the theory of the players. How much do they understand this game? Do the players understand the position they play in and the theory that goes in their roles and the function of their positions within that formation? So I'll be using a lot of building blocks, breaking it up in all the different phases of play, whether it's from a defensive, offensive and transition play, breaking it up, that we eventually add more building blocks so that we can have a cohesive team. From the highlights that I've seen thus far of the Crested Cranes, I see a lot of individualism. A lot of players are playing so individualistic. I need to see more group tactics, more team tactics. I need to see more overloading the zones. I need to see more, they need to create more numerical advantages in the zone. I would like them to play more through the midfield, more combination plays into the attacking third. And so I'll be bringing a lot of tactics, overlapping fullbacks, inverted fullbacks, but of everything that I said to you now will be dependent on what I find. So what we find, the quality, we will then eventually find a way, a playing style, which in my mind where we're going, and the formation, the way you're going to play. But it's can only be based on the quality and the kind of players that we're going to find. I'd like to say to the fans, to the coaches, I'll start with the coaches that I've spoken to the president. We will have a lot of workshop with the club coaches because we would like to share with them the road, the direction that we're going to take with the national team. And I think it's important that we have the input and that we discuss with them what we're going to do. Because ideally they're the ones that's going to build this place for us, isn't it? So the stronger, the more knowledge that we give the coaches, the better players they'll be able to develop, and the stronger the leagues will become, and the stronger the national team will become. And in terms of the fans, I would like to encourage even the players, the ones that hasn't played for the national team yet, or the players that played for the national team and they were dropped, there's still an opportunity. I would like to see them all, and I'm coming from a neutral point of view. In terms of the fans, we have 2 years. I've spoken to the president 2 days ago that we have to play, I would like us to play different kinds of opposition, not the same kind of. I would like to expose the players to different kinds of footballing nations, opponents, so that we can learn. So all the processes that we'll be putting in now, it will be done in training, and we need to see that in the games. So I would like the fans to be patient with me, patient with the team, because we will be strengthening. I'm not rebuilding the senior national team, I'll be strengthening them. The under-20s, under-17s are different. We might have to rebuild, but all I'm asking, come and support us. This is the most beautiful game, and I've made a commitment to FIFA. We will definitely play, we will play a different game, a different style of football, and I really hope that what I'm going to bring to the national team, that the Ugandans will really, really love the idea. Thank you.